Hey, my friend, if you're trying to grow your landscaping or lawn care business this year and you're looking for some really good high quality information, what you're about to watch is a 17-minute video of my friend Dan Plata and myself. He came to my studio here in Michigan, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a part owner of like 6 different million and multi-million dollar businesses. And we did a 2.5-hour interview talking about the 12 different steps to scale your business. I learned so much from this guy. He's amazing. And he also owns the bookkeeping agency, Blue Sky Services. They do my books, right? After we did this interview, we also did an Instagram live, and it was 17 minutes long, and that's what you're about to watch. So pardon me that it's going to be like vertical, but don't mind that, because it was fire. And you're about to watch it right now. If you just take 17 minutes and listen to this, I promise you it's so good. And if you want to actually listen to the full interview, go on the Untrapped podcast, which is my podcast. We just hit 380,000 downloads on all the platforms, Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. And you can listen to the whole interview there, or you can just go on my YouTube channel a couple videos back and look for Dan Plata and watch the whole 2.5-hour interview. I promise you it is well worth your time. The stuff he talks about it's the path. It's really good stuff. And I learned a lot, and my pleasure. Check out this video right here. Instagram, I'm Keith Kelfus here with Dan Plata. You might know him as the Home Service CFO. This guy runs Blue Sky Services. It's a bookkeeping agency, and him and his partners have like 6 different businesses, several multi-million-dollar businesses. And you're going to want to listen to what Dan's going to talk about. He's going to share some powerful tips for setting up the finances in your service business properly the right way. I'm going to let Dan take over in a second here. But Dan does the bookkeeping for both of my businesses, and I'm so glad I found Dan. I've learned so much from him, and I was embarrassed because even though the business was working, my QuickBooks looked like a freaking tornado hit it when I met Dan. And dude, they've helped me tremendously, and he's going to share some powerful stuff. So listen to what Dan has to say, and you can also follow him on his Facebook group, Bookkeeping Beer and BS, and I'll tag
check it out on the YouTubes as well.
On the YouTubes as well, bro. So,
yeah.
Dude, what's up? Hope you guys are doing well. And here's Dan Plata.
What's up, guys? So I have 5 quick steps for setting up the financial system of your business, no matter how big or small your company is. But first, even before that, I just want to make a quick point, because bookkeeping gets conflated with accounting all the time, and we think it's this like thing that we got to do so our CPA doesn't hate us for taxes. But really, bookkeeping is for us. It's the thing that drives all the decisions we make in our business, and this business of ours is really just a big math problem. And if we don't know what the numbers are telling us, we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants making decisions. Bookkeeping's sole purpose is to help you with that, help you make better decisions and make more money. It just so happens that our CPA usually likes it too, because it makes their life easier at the end of the year. But that's not why we do bookkeeping. We do bookkeeping because business owners need good numbers to make good decisions. Good decisions make more money. So how do we set that up? You got something?
Huh?
Well, I thought you were going to say something.
Well, I was saying slow down a little, because
I get a little excited. So 5 steps when you set up the financial systems in your business. And this is, like I said, this is whether you're just starting your business right now or whether you've been at it for 10 years. The first thing in any business is to make sure that you separate business transactions from personal transactions. If you're not, you're just running a hobby. You're not really running a business. You can't have clarity in your business, and you can't make good decisions if you can't tell the numbers that business is generating. You have to keep your business transactions separate from your personal transactions, and that's bank accounts, that's credit cards. Have one of each for personal and business, and keep them totally separate. Give yourself the benefit of that clarity. You deserve it. That clarity is what allows you to make good decisions. So step 1, keep business and personal separate. Step 2 is understand that you are 2 different people all at once at the same exact time. You are both a CEO who has a job and responsibilities and duties to run this business of yours, and you're also an owner. And those are 2 different roles, and we conflict them and smash them together because so often we think of ourselves as owner-operators. And apparently that's the same thing, but in fact it couldn't be any more different. As an owner, you are an investor. You are using your money to make investment decisions. It's no different than if you bought Amazon stock or if you invested in some debt or something like that. You just happen to run the main investment that you have, which is your own company. But you are an investor. You could put the money back into your company, or you could go buy a boat, or you could go buy Amazon stock or whatever. You can go invest in anything that you want. And when you're an owner, you are putting that capital to work expecting that it's going to generate a return for you. When you're a CEO, you're thinking about hiring employees and how you're going to do your marketing and what supplies you need to go do the job. You're the operator. You're running the business day to day. The decisions you make as a CEO in those operations are different than the decisions you make as an owner. So know when you're wearing which hat. You're two different people, and you got to keep those two things separate. Third is, we oftentimes are told by the world around us that debt is a bad thing. And Dave Ramsey says, right, that we shouldn't have any debt. We should pay everything in cash. And maybe that makes sense in our personal lives, but because we're separating business and personal, yeah, maybe we don't have debt in our personal lives. But in our business life, it's a math problem. We're looking at the return of the business against what it costs us to generate that return. Credit cards are a great tool in a business. You get to delay your cash flow by 30 to 40 days. You get all these points that you can use to, like, I flew here and stayed at a hotel and I didn't pay for shit because I used all my credit card points, right? So debt can be super powerful. Even when you're like financing vehicles or financing equipment, you could do it wrong for sure, but we can finance a lot of stuff at like 5% these days, and then we can put it in our business and generate a 20% return. And yeah, maybe borrowing money in your personal life doesn't make a lot of sense, but if I can go borrow money at 5% and invest it in my own business, my own little personal stock market that generates a 20% return, I'm going to do that all day, every day until I run out of money to do it with. So debt is okay, and it actually enables us to make a massive return in our business. So don't go buy that truck with cash and like pat yourself on the chest and like think you're all macho because you just paid off a truck. Finance the shit out of that truck and spend the money on marketing and recruiting so you can go grow your business and make a ton more money to go buy a whole bunch more trucks. So debt is okay. Use it wisely. Don't rack up a bunch of credit card interest bearing debt. Pay it off every, on schedule and make sure you're not paying unnecessary interest. But debt is an awesome tool in our business, and it's okay. Sorry, Dave Ramsey. Step number 4, keep your accounting system and your operating system separate. Your CRM, your jobber, whatever you use to run the day-to-day part of your business, that is your operating system. Super critical component of your business to know where to show up, to keep all your notes about this job and that job. Your bookkeeping system, your accounting system tells you something different. It's the thing that you need for tax purposes at the end of the year, but it's also the thing that you need to make decisions as you go. And they're two different systems. Just like the person that cleans your house, your home cleaner, is probably not the same person that cleans your windows or does your landscaping, unless you're Keith Kalfas and you do both. But oftentimes, that's a different person. Just like our CPA should be different than our bookkeeper, our operating system should be different than our accounting system because they're two different things. They're trying to tell us two different things. Some systems try to do both, but I highly encourage you not to use QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop to try to run your business. And don't use your CRM, don't use your jobber to try to do your accounting. They're two different things. They have two different purposes. They go well independently. Don't link them together. Don't smash them together because then you're just creating more work for yourselves. That's number 4. Step number 5 is to make sure that you pay yourself the right way and set your business up legally the right way to ensure that you do that. You should be an LLC. That's a limited liability company. That means that if you screw something up or damage somebody's property and they sue you, they can't take your personal stuff, right? They just can take the business stuff. Absolve, I think that's the right word, absolve yourself of that risk. Step 2 of that, though, is that doesn't do anything on your tax status. You can be an LLC and you're still taxed as a sole proprietor. The next step is once you start making money, you want to be taxed as an SCorp. You don't need to be an SCorp. If you're like actually an SCorp, you have to have a board of directors and you got to file meeting minutes and there's a whole bunch of requirements that come with it. You want to be an LLC taxed as an SCorp. You don't want to be an actual SCorp. I think the form is 2553. There's an IRS form to fill out to be taxed as an SCorp, which means you have to put yourself on payroll, which is actually like a super useful thing. You got to take a paycheck, and when you take that paycheck, you pay payroll taxes on that. When you're taxed as a sole proprietor, you pay payroll taxes on all of the income the business makes. So let's say you make $50,000. You're going to pay 15.3% payroll taxes because you're the employee and the employer. So you're going to pay 15.3% payroll taxes on all $50,000. That's like $7,500 plus dollars. And then you pay income taxes after that on what's left over. If you're taxed as an S-Corp, you only pay payroll taxes on your wage. So if you take a wage of $25,000, now you're only paying 15.3% on that $25,000 instead of all $50,000. So you just saved like $3,500. And that's like when you're just starting out in business. Imagine how powerful that gets when you're making $100,000, $200,000 in your business. So make sure you're taxed as an SCorp. The other beautiful thing about being taxed as an SCorp, like the sneaky hidden value, is now you're on payroll. And back to, I think it was point number 2, you're a CEO and you're an owner. If all you do is pay yourself with distributions, you're confusing your wage and your profit, and they get smashed together. Once you put yourself on payroll, now you're getting a paycheck. Now that's what the CEO makes. Now does the business actually make money or not? After you pay yourself a reasonable wage, does the business actually make a profit? And that clarity allows you to scale your business so much more efficiently when you understand how much you get paid for doing work and that there still needs to be money left over for the owner. Because at some point in our business, we either want to sell it or we want to like retire, but maybe still own it. Maybe we'd hire somebody else to run it for us and we can go sit on the beach while the business is still making money and we're getting distributions. Super important that the CEO gets a great paycheck because someday you're going to want to pay somebody else to run the business and that you still get distributions because after all, this is just an investment. And if you want to, you could go buy stock on the stock market, but why the hell not invest in your own company? So 5 steps: separate business and personal, separate you as the CEO from you as the owner, use debt wisely, don't avoid it, use it wisely, keep your accounting system and your operating system separate, and be an LLC taxed as an S-Corp. So you not only save a bunch of money on payroll taxes, like thousands of dollars legally, but you also get the benefit of the clarity of knowing when you're the CEO and knowing when you're the owner and making sure both of those versions of you are making money. And then go get a good bookkeeper, you guys.
You guys have a bookkeeping agency and a recruiting agency.
Mm-hmm. And we got 5 other companies doing just what you guys do. We have window cleaning companies, pressure washing companies, maid service companies. We do recruiting and bookkeeping because we built all these systems and processes for ourselves. And then guys like Heath are like, hey, bookkeeping sucks. Can you do it for me? Yeah. And we're like, yeah, we actually like it. Yeah. So hire us. Use us.
How?
yourblueskies.com/Kalfis. And you save $225 right off the top.
yourblueskies.com/Kalfis.
That's the one. Go check it out, guys. Book a demo with me. And we'll hang out and nerd out on your business and see how we can set up your financial systems right to make you a whole bunch of money.
This dude you have literally changed my life. He's taught me so much about finances and shit. Because
ditch the itch. Says I got a good bookkeeper, Dan.
Yeah, ditch the itch. Yep, and every single month you'll get a P&L statement. What do they get?
So we do weekly bookkeeping. You just got a message from Jason, the bookkeeper that works on your stuff. Literally got we check in with all of our customers every single week and say, hey, your books are done for the week, or got questions. What's this? What's that? So we check in every single week, reconcile at the end of the month, and then we send a P&L report, which stands for profit and loss. That's like the report card in your business that tells you how well you're operating the company. We send you a report, and it's not 40 lines long like your CPA sends you. It's got 5 line items in it. It's the summary version. It's broken down into digestible information that you can actually understand. And we color code it for you, which is great unless you're colorblind. Maybe we got to have like another system for that. So if somebody's colorblind, it doesn't mess with them. But it's broken down by how you make decisions. Everything is grouped really strategically for the home service industry. And the other cool thing is because we run businesses just like you, Keith, we know what that business model is. We know how much you guys need to spend on all those different decisions in your business. So we can help you scale it because every single month you're getting a report card that says you're green in this area, maybe you're yellow in this area if things are getting a little close to the warning track, or you're red on an area that you need to address or you've overinvested in. And we send you that every single month. So you can see not only how well you performed each month, but how well you're doing over time for the entire year to see if your business model is on track. Super cool, super powerful. In like 2 minutes, you can understand how well you're performing, and you don't need to look through a 40-line item P&L and wonder what the hell it's telling you.
I love it, bro. Every month I get a P&L. I just got it, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday, of everything that's going on in my businesses. And then even at the end of the year, they create a balance sheet and the P&Ls. I just give it to my accountant. My accountant, literally this year, he goes, and last year, he goes, see, you do your stuff right, Keith. But a couple of years ago, before I hired Dan and Blue Skies, my accountant was kind of aggravated, bro, and he charged me like an extra $1,000.
That's probably getting off cheap. It's a lot of work to try to reorganize some like some old historical stuff.
Yeah, I'm so happy, bro. Thanks, man.
I saw Austin chimed in. He said Kristen just texted him. Books are done for the week.
Yeah.
He got the text.
Awesome.
Man, it's just like that. I said earlier on a different thing we were running on the podcast, communication rules the nation, man. It's so easy just to like do that weekly check-in and weekly process. It actually saves you time. Because if we waited till the end of the month and we were like, hey, Keith, here's all the shit that I need from you, then you're going to get it and you're going to be like, well, that's too big of a list. So I'm going to have to like set down an hour to actually like go through and do all these things. Mm-hmm. But if we just send you like 1 or 2 things that we need from you each week, you just send us a text message back.
Super quick.
Super quick. And it's still up here because it happened last week. If we ask you what happened last month, your guess is as good as mine, you know?
So we just did a whole 2.5-hour dive on 12 different topics, and he taught all about how to scale a business, employees, all the questions that you have that you're curious about and that would frustrate you, and you just feel like, I wish I could sit down with a guy like Dan who has grown several, $1 million businesses and has been through all the pains and the struggles and sufferings. We did a deep dive for 2.5 hours. It'll be on my YouTube channel soon, and also on the podcast, the Untrapped podcast on Apple or Spotify. And so I'll let you guys know when that is out. You'll see it also here on Instagram and on my feeds, and I encourage you to listen to that and take notes because I learned a ton of shit from you, bro. This
Hell yeah,
awesome. Dan Plata from Blue Skies.
I saw one question come through about should I use something like Blue Skies first or should I do an LLC first? And I think that's a great question because it's like when does it actually make sense? Here's my take. And this is different for everybody. It's there's a point in time where you're just going to know that you need bookkeeping because your business data will be so chaotic. You won't know what it's telling you. You won't know the decisions that you're making, and that sucks in life and in business. So first, LLC, get your business and personal separate, start growing the business. When you really need bookkeeping, and I'll be the first to tell you, you don't need a bookkeeper. Like it is not a requirement in business to have a bookkeeper. Get a CPA, make sure somebody gets the taxes right. The bookkeeper is for you alone. Yeah, it'll help with taxes, but that's not the point. The point is that you have good data, and when you start really needing good data is when you start scaling your business, when you start hiring employees, and when you start having to make investment decisions about marketing, administrative people and resources, capacity-related resources like do I need to go rent a location? And do I need to get this software or that software? And how much can I pay for it? And how much should I be spending on repairs and maintenance? And all of a sudden you start thinking about all this infrastructure you need to add. And you don't need it when it's just you running the business and you're starting out. Those decisions aren't as complex. We can usually just look at our bank account or use our gut. We're entrepreneurs. Like we have a good gut. We should trust it. The minute you start trying to scale your business, and shit, we talked for an hour or two yesterday about just like this process of scaling and all the ups and downs of it. And if you have clarity and good bookkeeping, understanding those ups and downs and sticking to the business model is just so much less stressful because we know exactly what's happening and we know exactly what's supposed to happen. So I would say LLC first, get the business and personal stuff separate, start growing. And as you start to feel that chaos ensue, and it will, because you can't scale a business without good, clear data. The minute you start to feel it, give me a call.
Love it.
Go to yourblueskies.com/Kalfas. Save $225.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, Keith.
All right, guys, we're going to get back to it and enjoy your day. And
have a good weekend.
See you soon.
Happy Friday.
Have a happy Friday.